Okay, we are live. Good to see everybody. It's Andrew back again with a live stream. It's been a while, folks. It is Saturday, September 6th, 2025. It is 9:02 a.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So hope everybody's doing okay. Hopefully you can see me and hear me okay. We have another good one here brought to you by Dell, right? So Dell sent over the Dell Pro Max 18 plus, right? So this is a workstation, 18-inch workstation that is a successor to the Precision line. Obviously, with the rebranding, everything, they're now changing everything up, and this is part of that. So this is a powerful workstation. It is loaded to bear. This has got 128 gigabytes of RAM. It's got Gen 5 SSD storage and RAID 0. It's got everything you could think of pretty much. It's got Blackwell Pro graphics, the 5000, RTX 5000. And let's see, what else does it have? It has a QHD Plus display, 120 hertz. I mean, we got a lot to talk about here today. I did get it out of the box already, just simply because I wanted to load in all of the benchmarks and everything in advance, make sure some updates were run, so this way we can get up and running pretty smoothly and efficiently. So I want to thank Dell for sending this over, but as a disclaimer, I'm not being paid or being sponsored by Dell. This is sent over for me to review, so I'll give you my unfiltered, unbiased opinion. They're not getting any copy approval. Obviously, with this live stream, they're not, because they're seeing it live just like you. So good to see everybody here. It's been a while. Like I said, we had Tech Tony here to say hello to Tech Tony as people are filing in. Hopefully it's going to be really good. I have a feeling it is. Good to see William. How are you? Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. That certainly helps get it spread out. Good to see our good friend Raphael as well. Good to see Banga. How are you, my friend? And then, yeah, Raphael, Gen 5 storage here is very, very good. So a lot of things to talk about here. So this is a premium build and design. Let's get a look at the specs while we have about 55, 60 of you watching. I am streaming on multiple platforms. We have YouTube and Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. So just so you know. All right, so let's bring out the specs here. Might as well. Good time as any. And here you can see that this is an 18-inch display. Let's start off with the display here. It's a 2560 by 1600, 500 nit display, 100% DCI-P3 coverage. It is non-touch. It's got wireless LAN. It's also got IR camera, microphone. Obviously, those are the things that are going to come with this one. But it's a 2.5K display, 18 inches, so plenty of screen real estate. This beast obviously is powered by the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, the 285HX. It's a 24-core processor. We'll get into that. 55 watts. It also has vPro for those business users that need what vPro brings to the table. It's got the NVIDIA RTX Pro 5000 Blackwell series GPU, 24 gigabytes of GDDR7 video memory, 128 gigabytes of CAM2 memory. We'll talk about that. And this is 128 gigabytes running at 6400 megatransfers per second and in dual channel mode. It is non-ECC. Now, storage, we're talking about two 1 terabyte SSD drives here, and we're talking about Gen 5 and in RAID 0. And we are looking at a 6-cell 96 watt-hour battery that supports express charge. They include a 280 watt AC adapter. We'll talk about that. And what I like about it, it's USB Type-C, so it's not a barrel pin connection or anything like that. And it has Intel Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, and the optional 5G or mobile broadband, wireless WAN. And then, of course, let me press play here, and this will turn it over to the remainder of the specs here, as we have a weight of 7.17 pounds or 3.25 kilograms. So definitely a little bit of half, but this is a desktop replacement workstation type deal here. 8 megapixel, 30 frames per second camera. Let me go back a little bit. I always do that. And then IR camera, fingerprint reader on this. We'll look at that. Audio, we're talking about stereo speakers here. They're a total of 4 watts, 2 watts each. and it's in this magnetite color. It's like a dark gray. It's actually pretty nice, actually. It's not, yeah, it's like a dark gray, I guess. And then it has all the ports we'll get into in a moment. Key ones here being the 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports in addition to a Thunderbolt 4 port. So Thunderbolt 5, so it's pretty specced out in terms of modern ports here. So that is looking good. I also have, and we'll talk about in a moment, the Thunderbolt 5 dock that Dell sent over, their Dell Pro Thunderbolt 5 Smart Dock. So we'll take a look at that in a moment as well. So a little bonus there. And it's appropriate because we have a Thunderbolt 5 equipped machine here, right? So it's not going to be cheap. As configured here today, it's an eye-watering $9,245.52. That, of course, is pretty specced out, right? So you don't have to spend that much. And I know companies tend to buy these in bulk, and they will get pretty significant discounts from Dell. So before you start complaining all this, they're not going to pay this, right? So they're going to buy bulk, and they're not going to blink at the price because they have projects that will pay for this probably one time over, and they'll have this all paid for. Now, this does have CAM2 memory, and what is CAM2 memory? So let's get a little bit of a refresher here. So this is compression attached memory module, and this is a second version. I looked at the first version when Dell had their Dell Precision a couple of years ago. And this is a new, flatter, and more compact memory standard designed to replace traditional DIMM and SODIMM modules in laptops and potentially desktops as well. So I like that this is forward-thinking. Dell leading the charge here with the CAM memory. So very, very nice stuff here. All right, so that is the specs and a little bit of education there on what kind of memory this has, 128 gigabytes. All right. So let's do a top down here. I've already taken it out of the box. Sorry. I wanted to make sure I did get all of the updates in there and some of the, what do you call it? Benchmarks. Okay, let's put the box to the side. But what do you get in the box, right? So you get the unit. So let's put that to the side here for a moment. You also get a 280 watt power charger, and it is USB Type-C. So this is pretty good, right? So I actually have the HP ZBook Fury here. And the ZBook Fury, the G1i, that's also an 18-inch. And we'll take a look at them side by side in a little bit. And I'm going to do a head-to-head battle between these two behemoths. But that uses a barrel pin connection. So we'll talk about that. But this is a USB Type-C. So let me plug this in and get this ready. So... but actually, before that, let's take a tour of the device and get a measurement of the weight. So before we start doing all that, this is the Dell Pro Max 18 Plus, right? So this is a premium design. It is a little bit of heft, and let's take a look at the side view here. And you can see we have some, and if I can get it into focus there, we have the headphone jack. You get your Thunderbolt 4 drive there, USB Type-C, it is full function, 2 USB Type-A ports, and a Kensington lock. On the back, there is nothing. There's some venting there. And then on the left side, as you can see here, you have the 2 Thunderbolt 4, actually Thunderbolt 5 ports, HDMI 2.1, gigabit LAN port, and full-size SD card reader, and a smart card reader. So plenty of I/O on this beast. So this is pretty good. Now, let's do the you-know-what test. Of course, let's see if you can do it. And yeah, you can. I would be surprised if you didn't. One-handed finger, one-finger test. Definitely can do it. Now, that is that. So we'll get a look at this keyboard. It's actually really good. Now, one thing you'll notice here on this deck, there is a fingerprint reader there as it's booting up. You have a nice-sized touchpad. It is not haptic, though. Which is interesting, right? I would think they would have put one in here, but they didn't. Not terrible. I've used it a little bit while I was setting some stuff up, and it's actually pretty good. Full-size numeric keypad. It is a backlit keyboard, and you could probably get a look at the backlight here pretty well. And it's good. I like it because this is going to allow you to get work done. But while this is actually booting up, let's actually close that. Let's get a measurement of the weight as we bring out our scale here, and let's turn it on. Now, let me move the box out of the way so we don't have that interfering with anything. So nothing more in the box there. And let's put this right over there, and let's put it into kilograms. I hope this scale can go up to what I to actually measure this. Let's see, with just the unit alone, we're looking at, well, let me do this again. 3.608 kilograms for those that can't see that. Let me move it up there. So 3.611 kilograms. Okay. And that is 7 pounds, 15.4 ounces. So let me put it back into kilograms. And then with the power charger and the power cord, a total travel weight of 4.273 kilograms. And that is in pounds, 9 pounds, 6.8 ounces. So definitely have to take with you on the road. But considering the kind of power this is packing under the hood, it is actually portable to bring between different offices and obviously room to room as well if you're working at home. So that is the deal there. Now let me plug in the 280 watt USB Type-C power supply because we're going to need it. Okay, that's plugged in, and let's plug it in on that side, and there you go. So that is the tour of the device. Now this is the display here. So what we're looking at here, and let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. A 2.5K IPS display. I don't think they make OLED, just for those wondering why aren't they using tandem OLED or regular OLED. They don't make an 18-inch that I'm aware of. Maybe they do, but not readily available or in mass quantities, I would imagine, if at all. This is a 2560 by 1600 resolution. It has a 120 hertz variable refresh rate. You could go between 60 and 120. And I have it on the 120 here. It is a matte display, so you don't get a lot of glare and reflection there, right? So a lot of screen real estate here. You're going to be able to get a lot of work done. It's going to be great for productivity. This is very good. Now, as I mentioned, it has a really nice keyboard. It's very comfortable to type on, and the limited time that I used it, that has been very good. This is a glass touchpad. It is not haptic, as I mentioned. I kind of wish it was, but this is a laptop that is really gained towards getting productivity. Would have been nice to have haptics on it, but we'll see. Maybe in the future iterations it will. Not a huge deal, but I just wanted to point that out. And there's that fingerprint reader we talked about. Okay. So let's see if any questions so far before we start running some of this. The pomegranate tree is doing great, Dane. It's almost ready to be picked. They're almost falling off the tree. I got limes as well. Okay, so that is all coming. Maybe we'll do a video on that, what we're growing here. I have a fig tree as well. I don't know. My wife wanted that. I don't know. So it could be good, though. Tech Vids, good to see you. Joe Bez, hey, how you doing, my friend? Good to see Master Fung once again. There you go. Oop, well, got you there off prematurely. What a machine. Yeah, this is a beast. Dell Pro Max, all for meaning high price. Yeah, it is not for the average consumer. This is serious stuff here. They're not going to pay 9,000 VA Sound. Nobody's going to pay that because they're going to buy these in bulk. And again, companies will buy these because the projects they're going to do on this high-end video editing, even Hollywood studios will buy these, right? And they'll do high-end video editing on something like this and so forth. Or engineers, architects, medical imaging, 3D rendering. These are ISV certified machines. So you're going to be able to get professional work done. If you're going to design a bridge, you have to make sure it's very precise in the measurements and in the calculations and so forth. Because if you're off even a fraction of a whatever, you're going to have a bridge collapse. You don't need that, right? So you want to have a machine that will do it. And that's one of the differences, by the way, between a consumer graphics-based like RTX 5090, 5080, and the 50 series versus the Blackwell Pro graphics, as we have here, the 5000 here. So that is a difference. So when you look at the sheer raw numbers, it's really not telling the complete story. In fact, it's only a fraction of the story. It has to be precision is what we're looking for, and how appropriate. These were called precision machines, right? That was their branding that they changed, but very appropriate nonetheless. I need a compact power. Dell Pro Max 14 Premium is coming. Yeah, we're getting that. We're going to be getting in the Dell Pro Max Premiums, but not yet. I heard it's coming soon, though. We are getting them. So everybody stay tuned. You know I'm going to get it. And we will do a big unboxing of that and all that. That's coming. All right. So as we have close to 100, I guess, of you between the two platforms. Love matte displays, according to Martin. All right. Let's start looking at some of this stuff here. And let me bring up, let's just do a simple Geekbench test, right? So I already loaded in Geekbench, but let's run it and let's get a look at what we're talking about here. Let me load it in to my dock here, one of the Thunderbolt 5 ports. And we're going to talk about that Thunderbolt 5 dock in a moment as we'll get it out. But let's run our first benchmark here. I have it on the performance mode, or the highest performance mode. And we are plugged into the 280 watt power adapter. We'll monitor that to see how hot it gets and so forth, and we'll see. Ibrahim, I do have the the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. I'm going to put it up against the Apple iPad Pro, running with the what do you call it, the nano texture display with the M4. I'm going to do a head-to-head. I have a full review coming on that S11 Ultra, so stay tuned. Which Precision model is this replacing? Whatever the 18-inch, it would be the Precision, whatever the 18-inch was. The 78 whatever, maybe, I don't know. But this is their 18-inch replacement, right? So that's what you get. Hello from the UK. I have a 16-inch i7 258V 32 Dell, great machine. All right, so good to hear. A lot of great things. And I got to say, everybody was up in arms about Dell rebranding and all that. And I was a little critical as well, but as they're rolling out and taking a look at these, I got to say, I've been very impressed, right? So we had the Dell 14 Premium running Lunar Lake. That did great in terms of battery life, efficiency, and was great. Paired that with a tandem OLED display was great. Now, would I have liked 120 hertz? Absolutely. We looked at the Dell Pro 13 Premium, another more portable version of that. But again, a lot of the same great stuff there, great battery life and so forth. And then the Dell Pro Plus, whatever we looked at, as that replaced the Plus line, right? So it was, what was that? It was the having a brain moment here. What was their consumer mid-range line? Oh my God. Anyway, whatever it was, somebody remind me, it's now the Plus line, right? And then we looked at the Dell 14 and 16 Premium, which is the XPS replacement. We've already gone over that ad nauseum. So the Precision 7780 was the old version. Thank you, AISW or ALSW, whatever. But yes, I agree. That was the one that they replaced. It had a 17-inch 16:9 display. Okay. Inspiron. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, my friend. Yes, it's the Inspiron line, although I don't have to remember it now because it's gone. I do like the new naming, according to Martin, scheme, but one sure has to look carefully at the name to figure out what the old family they belong to. Yes, we had a chart. I probably should look for it at some point. Dell Plus is now the Inspiron successor. Do you think the cam is game changer compared to Sodom? Yeah. So I looked at the original cam. I've met with the people that actually developed it at Dell. And I met with the top engineers there, or the specific top engineer. And I saw this from its infancy to where it is now. And it's now starting to roll out. But Dell leading the charge when it comes to the cam memory. Pretty impressive. Is the age catching up to you? Probably, William. I had a senior moment, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I'm losing my mind, people. So many laptops, so little time. I have my coffee here. Okay, so this is running the Geekbench. Let's take a look at that. And I'll put myself down there. Okay, so this is going to run it, and we'll see what the results will be. Cam doesn't mean anything if nobody uses it. Well, you got to start somewhere, right? So this is a forward-thinking type of design, and if we have time, we'll look at it here today. We'll see how it's all going to. We're going to see the adoption rate. I know other brands are going to start using it. I know Dell has been the first one to use it. I've seen no reviews online for the Dell Pro Max 14 and 16. So you're talking about the Dell Pro Max Premium or whatever. I'm assuming, if I'm getting the naming right, those are coming. I will have reviews on that. I've been talking to Dell about that, so stay tuned. They are coming. I don't have an exact date. So look at these numbers here. This is impressive. Wow. So we're looking at nearly 3,000 single core and over 20,000, nearly 21,000 multi-core. So this is very, very good. Let me take my screenshot so I can have that for my review. So we'll have the numbers ready. But that is impressive. Now, let's do, while we have this, let's run the OpenCL with these NVIDIA RTX Pro 5000 Blackwell graphics. Okay, please do a review of the ThinkPad T1G. So, Ilya, I think you sent me an email. I meant to send one back to you. Yes. Now, I'm trying to figure out, is that a P1 variant that we're going to be looking at? Because I know Lenovo just announced it. Or is that only in Japan? Because I don't know if I would be able to get one. I'm looking into it, so stay tuned, people. That looks pretty interesting. I think it might be Asia or China only or something like that, but I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Now, Lenovo did have some announcements at IFA 2025. Obviously, I'm not there this year, and that is unfortunate, but I can cover it from here, and I may do a video on what they've announced. More workstations. Actually, Lenovo was the last one to release these because I already have the ZBooks for this year. I have this one, obviously, to kick it off for Dell and so forth. So this is pretty good numbers here. Let's take a look at that. Look at that, 235, 606. So I'm looking, these graphics are looking very, very impressive. All right, so that is that. Now, talking about graphics, let's run the 3D Mark here. Let's run one here. Let's do Time Spy. What do you say? Let's have fun. Let's have fun here. Did you see the Gamer Nexus video about HP 45L? They were extremely unhappy with the product and took serious offense. Are you going to review one of those too? So the HP 45L. So are you talking about the Max that I looked at? I had the sneak peek when I got invited to the secret Omen lab. I haven't reviewed it. I have high hopes for it, but are you talking about the Max? Because I'm not sure. I've done the 45L in the past, so we'll have to see. How much VRAM? I believe it's 24 gigabytes of VRAM on this. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Yeah, it's 24 gigabytes. Actually, you can see what I'm looking at. All right, let's go to the benchmarks, and there's your CPU, the GPU rather, and it's NVIDIA RTX Pro Blackwell, 24,546 megabytes, so 24 gigabytes of video memory. Okay, so let's go to the benchmarks here. Let's run a quick one. Let's do Wildlife Extreme because that's the quicker one. I'm going to do full benchmarks, obviously, while we get this full review underway here. So they announced the P16 Gen 3. I hope to be getting it. I have a good relationship with Lenovo. I want to look at the P1. I want to look at that T1G, whatever they're calling it, that we were looking into. So we'll see. Please hit the like button. Yeah, I appreciate that, Raphael. Carl, $1,500 can buy you some pretty good stuff. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I need more information, but we'll talk about that. With that kind of budget, $1,500, you could do pretty well. Maybe even buy something used or pre-owned or refurbished or something. Sometimes you get some good deals. We know where the 5070 laptop GPU's VRAM went. They went here to the Blackwell, to the Pro series. They're not playing around on these Pro series. And I have the, you can see it here. Don't get mad at me, Dell, but I have this. This is the competitor to this one. This is the ZBook Fury G1i, okay? So this one has exact same specs, same processor, same graphics, and actually feels pretty hefty. So I'm going to do a head-to-head between these two in a battle of the behemoths, as probably what I'm going to call it, and we'll see. We'll see. But so far, I'm very impressed with this Dell Pro Max 18 Plus. I'm pretty good with the names now. Dedicated GPU or no dedicated GPU car? Okay, you're talking with them. Okay, no problem. Good to see people are talking. Dell is mad. Laugh out loud. No, they don't care. Well, listen, stand behind your products. And I like that about Dell. They do stand behind their products. So let's put it, let's go head to head. Come on. Oh, look at this score. This is really impressive. Okay, so 40,394. Check out the graphics test, 241.88 frames per second. This is a really good, I do a lot of these tests. That's amazing result here. Look at this. Wow. You're averaging on, say, Battlefield at 1440p ultra settings, 175 plus frames per second. That is pretty darn good. And they're doing this, and what's impressive here, they're doing this with a 280 watt USB-C adapter or power supply, and it's pretty compact considering it's 280 watts. So I'm very impressed here. All right, so let's go back to the benchmarks. What the hell? Let's do Time Spy. What the hell? Let's go to Time Spy. Let's run this bad boy, and let's get going. And you know what we're going to do here? Let me get out my, you know what, my meter here, my audio meter. And let me turn that on. Let me move this. We're going to get to this Thunderbolt dock as a bonus in a little bit. Don't let me forget it. The Thunderbolt 5 Pro dock, whatever they're calling it. The Dell Pro Thunderbolt 5 Smart Dock, maybe. I don't know, whatever it's called. All right, good, whatever it is. All right, so I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to see how the fans kick in here, and we can get a measurement of that. And then I may bring out the thermal imaging as well to get an idea of the temperatures as well. So I'm one step ahead of you. All right, so let it run. It's not running yet before we start seeing how the fans are. I'll switch microphones. Don't let me forget to switch back. So far, 47, almost 48 decibels. I'm talking, so it's obviously going to come up there. But let's keep monitoring it, and I'll let you know. And let me get my thermal imaging camera ready, see how it starts to heat up. All right, so far this is pretty cool. I don't know why it's probably updating in the background. So far this has stayed pretty cool. 47 degrees where the venting is over there. Very impressive. I believe this has 3 fans, by the way. We're going to open it up. We'll take a look at it. The cooling here should be really top notch for this class of desktop replacement, really workstation. Let's see how the underside's doing here. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I feel it. I mean, it's staying pretty cool here. This is pretty impressive. Yeah, not hot at all. We'll keep running it. We'll see how this is going to do. The charger is lukewarm, so they're doing a good job here. Very efficient, very efficient. So, very impressive. Let me put this to the side here, and I think I screwed this benchmark up. I'll have to rerun it, but I think I might have hit something when I did that. So not surprising. But I did one earlier, just as a spoiler. So we do have a backup here, and it was impressive here. So let me put it on here. And what I saw earlier was time spy score of, see, that's the Wildlife Extreme, 23,188. Wow. That's very good. That's very, very good. I mean, legendary according to Time Spy. So that is very good. So we don't need to run that. So what I'm seeing here is very cool and quiet. What I'm really surprised is, why is this so quiet? So we're going to have to take a look inside this in a moment. But I didn't see it go around above 40 decibels, 48 decibels. So that is impressive. Now, let's run Cinebench 2024. I want to see here, see if we can start pushing this to 100% maximum load with the CPU. I want to see how the fans and the cooling solution does there. So this is pretty interesting so far. And let's see if it heats up more. We'll maybe do some more testing there. Let's turn off the thermal throttling test. Let's just turn that off altogether. Let's do multi-core. So let's hit that. And let me connect it up so you can see what I'm doing as well. Okay. And there it is. Okay. So what are we expecting here? I want to get as close to 2,000 as possible on this. So we'll see. We'll see. So Jane Kello got the Surface Laptop 7 13.8 for my recommendation. And you're loving it. Yeah, by the way, and I can put it back on me while this is running. I do have the Surface Laptop 5G for business. I'm going to be doing a day in the life when I'm going on my business trip coming up in about a couple of weeks or so. And I will have a comprehensive real world type of use on it with 5G, battery life, how I use it to be productive on the road, to get work done, right? So it's that I've been loving it so far. It's a little different than what we saw earlier. The design is different. They rearranged the antennas for the 5G to maximize reception. So there you go. Sorry for not responding earlier. The T1G is essentially going to be the X1 Extreme version of the P1. So as you know, I've reviewed the X1 Extreme in the past, and they did away with it. Maybe this is they're bringing it back kind of thing. They then moved everything to the P1. So hopefully we'll be getting stuff from Lenovo in their recent announcements at IFA, which I'm not there. I was there last year. I'm not here this year. I'm there a couple of times already. So no, I had too much going on here, so I couldn't go. But we will have coverage of it as well. If there's something I think I can make a video on, maybe I'll do what Lenovo announced maybe next day or so. Take a look, a little bit of a deep dive. 5G, this is what I should be looking at. And by the way, you can get this with mobile broadband, 5G or whatever. Now, the one I have here from HP, the ZBook Fury, has eSIM. So this does have a modem in it. I don't see a SIM card slot, but maybe I'm missing it here somewhere. But it does have eSIM. So it does have the ability to connect 5G and stuff. And I'll test that out. I'll test that out. But I like that. Now, I also have the ZBook, the smaller version, not the Fury, whatever they're calling it. I forget. The ZBook X, I think, G1i. And that one has a physical nano SIM card slot as well as, I think, eSIM. I'm a big proponent of the mobile broadband in general, as you know. I know you can use your phone as a hotspot. I know that saves you some money, I guess, in the long run. But I don't like to, I like having a dedicated connection, secure, no caps in terms of data limits. I don't have to worry about hotspots and all that. So look at this. So we are getting very close to that magical 2000. So this is 1927 multi-core. So that is very good. Let me run the single core. It may take, hopefully it won't take too long. I'm expecting anywhere from 130, 135, maybe 140 at the most, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so far we have a pretty good turnout today of 84 of you watching between the two platforms. So happy to have everybody here. We're streaming on YouTube as well as on the X, formerly known as Twitter. Maybe I'll add Facebook in the coming weeks as we start doing more live unboxings and so forth. All right. So far, this has got some impressive performance. But we expected that, right? This is a powerhouse. We're not this means business. This beast means business. All right. 128 gigabytes of memory, RAID 0. So we're going to test out this RAID 0. I'm expecting very fast stuff. So after this, single core will do the Crystal Disk Mark test. We'll see how the RAID 0 comes together for this. And there you go. MacBook is rumored to have LTE and 5G. That would be great. Because one of my criticisms, in addition to a few other things with Apple, is their lack of 5G. Now, you can get it on the iPad Pro. I actually have a 13-inch iPad Pro running the M4 nano texture display and the 5G, right? But of course, I think it's nano SIM only, which is a kind of shitty. I like having a physical SIM card slot, but that's another story for another day. I wish MacBooks had the ability, like ThinkPads, like these Dell Pros, where you can outfit them with 5G. And I think business users in particular, and we'll talk about that in my Surface Laptop 5G for Business review that's coming, or my in-depth day in the life kind of thing. They need to have this 5G. I really think it's the way to go. And I don't know why Apple's been so resistant to do that. They still should have it. But it's years and years we've been asking for this, and they still don't have it. So I'm not sure if they think that's going to take away from people getting an iPad Pro with 5G. I really don't know why they're doing it. But it's kind of shitty that they don't do it. Now, you can tether your iPhone. I understand the way Apple ecosystem works. You can do it. But is it ideal? I don't think so. I mean, I would like to have like I said, I like to have its own dedicated connection, especially for businesses. You don't want to mix the phone and the laptop. When you're working on a project and you need to get things done, you don't need the distraction of the phone. Then it rings and this. I just want to have a separate connection. That's just me, maybe. I don't know. But let me know what you think. Now that we went on a tangent there, but we're waiting for our single core score here. All right. While we're doing this, waiting for that, let's take a look at that 5G. Oh, 5G. I have 5G in the mind. Thunderbolt 5 dock. So here we have it. And we'll put this over here while that's running its benchmark. And we have here, let's see what it's called. It's called, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called the Dell Pro Thunderbolt 5 Smart Dock. And I think I have a link in the description below. The Dell Pro Thunderbolt 5 Smart Dock, maybe. I guess that's what it is. So let's get this out here. There's pull tabs, but I don't even have patience for that. So let's just use our good old knife here. And let's close that. I cut myself. Still surprised I haven't really had some serious injury in the past on this. And let's take a look at this. So this is something I've been waiting for. And it's perfect for this because this has Thunderbolt 5. So we have the dock here. We get a power supply. It's pretty hefty. I guess they need it. This one is a 330-watt beast that does use the barrel pin connection there. That's for the dock right there. And then you get your power cord and your USB cable that goes to your whatever device you're connecting this to. So that is the power supply. And this, of course, actually is connected to this. And this is the Thunderbolt 5 dock. And there it is. Nice and compact. I like this. So it has all the bells and whistles in terms of ports. You can see that there. I'll leave it there. And it looks like you have HDMI. You got display ports, 3 USB-A. You got 2 Thunderbolt ports there because it has the lightning bolts. I guess they're Thunderbolt 5, I would assume. And then there's your LAN port right there, your power port, and venting on the side. There's probably a fan in there. On the, I guess, front of the unit is a USB-A and a 10 gigabit per second regular USB-C 3.2 Gen 2, and then some Kensington locks, dual Kensington locks there, it seems. I think. Although that may be another port there. Actually, this is the Kensington lock. I'm sorry. This is the Kensington lock, and that is some kind of port. I'll take a look. We'll figure that out. But all the fun is in the back there. All the good stuff is in the back. Let me see something here. Yeah, so this is the Thunderbolt 5 dock. This looks pretty impressive. So there it is, and looking pretty good. So it's on like a little pedestal, so I guess you can wrap the wire around, and then there's your USB cable that you're going to connect to, say, your laptop, workstation, desktop, whatever that you're going to connect this to. And there it is. So very, very nice. I'll test this out, and we'll test it with the Thunderbolt 5, and we'll see how that's all going to play out. So very impressive stuff. I'll leave link for it in the description below. I'm not anticipating it being cheap. It is Thunderbolt 5, and it is high quality. Okay. So a little bonus there. I haven't seen how many likes we got on this video, so I'm almost afraid to see. So we have 51 likes, all right? I'd like to get to 100 people, so if you want to help this get spread out on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get this spread out as far as possible so we can have as many people see this as possible. Yeah, the Thunderbolt dock is actually pretty nice using Thunderbolt 5, right? So what I'm curious, William, is the speeds of these Gen 5 SSDs. That's what I want to look at. So I'm just waiting for this to finish. Probably I should load that in the background, but probably I don't want to ruin this score, so we'll see it. But for those that are wondering, we are looking at the Dell Pro Max 18 Plus. It is a full-fledged 18-inch workstation behemoth. It got some little weight. It's a desktop replacement, but portable enough to take with you to office, home, room to room, in your home office or whatever, in your house or in an office environment. You can definitely do it. So looking pretty good. Great I/O on this. So you have great port selections on the sides. Excellent cooling so far. The takeaway I have is everything stays cool and quiet. I'm not sure how they kept it this quiet, to be honest. I didn't go over 50 decibels. In fact, about 47, 48 decibels under load so far, which is, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic they put in this, but it's definitely quiet. And we've been pushing it, so we'll see. Yeah, I agree. We do need some more likes here. All right, so it'll be nice to see the new Snapdragon laptop lineup after Hawaii. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to Hawaii, although I went twice this year, once with Gigabyte and once on family vacation. So, you know, it is what it is. So there you go. But I've been having fun. So while we're waiting for this, I've been having fun. I actually got a new car. I got the 2025 Tesla Model S. I may do a video on it if you're interested, with the full self-driving. The thing has been amazing. So, you know, I had my car. You probably know this. I had a 2015. I still have it, a 2015 Model S. So I've seen the 10-year difference in the improvements and so forth in Tesla. So there is a lot of change, and it's a very different type of car now. Although a lot of it is still the same, but it has been pretty good. Maybe I can show you a picture of it at some point here. Let's see if I can show it to you. Let me minimize that. So let me put it on me for a second. I'm probably screwing up the score, but I don't care. I should do a video on it, right, Master Fung? Let's take a look at it. So let me show it to you. There you can see it. So there it is. It's a beauty. I call it the Red Devil. I don't know why. I think my wife named it, actually. This is a 2025 Tesla Model S. Now, it is the long range. It is not the Plaid. And the reason I didn't go with the Plaid is because it's less range on the Plaid. I need range because I plan to do some trips, and I want to have as much range. So the range that they're estimating this is 410 miles. But of course, those are just estimates. I think it's going to be anywhere from 375, 380, and there you go. This is called Ultra Red, and it's got full self-driving. So let me put it back on me for a second. Let me show you the interior here, and you can get an idea of what it's like inside. And here it is. So they went to that horizontal or landscape now, like the others, on the main display, and then you have the heads-up display or the one in front of the steering wheel. And I don't like the yoke or anything like that. I didn't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I should back into the space. But I'm very careful. And by the way, they're so precise, these cars, they know exactly how much space you have until that the pylon, right? Till you get to that pylon. What is the speaker quality? Is it better than MacBook Pro? We'll take a look at that. I know you didn't come here for the Tesla, or maybe you did, who knows? But that is my Tesla Model S, the Red Devil, and I maybe have a video on it. We'll do some full self-driving, and it is pretty amazing. I will say, it backs you out. I mean, the thing is pretty freaking amazing. I can't get over the technology in that car. So maybe we'll do a video on it. Hopefully there's some interest. I mean, there's plenty of videos on YouTube on it, so I'm sure. So thank you. I appreciate that, William. Wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap, but I didn't go for the plaid. That would have been more money also. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, and they also have the 2026. So the difference is the 2025 doesn't have that ambient lighting, that light bar, which I think was just ridiculous. I mean, I don't care about that. That didn't matter. Other than that, maybe a little change in the suspension, but really not to justify the difference in price. So I do appreciate that, William. Let's do Cinebench 2023 and then do those Gen 5 drives. Yes. Yes. I know you don't want to talk about the car, maybe. That's what I want to talk about now. So I probably ruined this score at some point because I went on to Chrome and all that, but we'll get an idea. I'll run full benchmarks on this. In the meantime, might as well just load in, because that's going to take a while. Let's just load in the Cinebench. No, the Crystal Disk Mark, because I am curious to see how the speeds of this RAID 0 Gen 5 SSDs will do. So download will start in 1 second. I hate these things, by the way, when we got to wait for that. It's really annoying. So that's going to start downloading. Hopefully, there it is. And let's, yeah, I probably ruined my Cinebench score, so I'm not too worried about it, but whatever, because I'm taking away resources from it. Launch Crystal Disk Mark. Okay. All right. So we're ready for that. But let's first, and looking at 2 terabytes there, by the way, you can see it there. There's 2 terabytes there. Let's see where we are on this. We're almost there. So let's wait and then we'll get that. Better be careful. Eventually, these new cars will be able to replace you in being able to review PCs. I think we're already at that point. I think we're already at that point. Hopefully not. But there's nothing like me. One thing you can say about me, whether you like me or hate me, I'm one of one, right? I'm one of a kind. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. But yeah, so that's I better be careful, right, William? So there you go. Forget about it. All right, so I almost maybe I should do this in a video. I have I promise you this is true. I actually have a T-shirt. I was going to wear it today, but I felt like, well, this is a business laptop. Maybe I'll do it for a consumer laptop. I have a Tony Soprano shirt smoking. So it's black shirt with Tony Soprano smoking a cigar. And it's James Gandolfini, obviously, the late James Gandolfini who plays Tony Soprano on The Sopranos, a T-shirt. So I was going to wear that, but then I said, you know, this is kind of a business professional. I got to look a little bit the part, right? So I promise what I'll do. I'll wear it if you like it. I don't know. But people always say, like, you know, why is the mafia reviewing laptops and so? So might as well just play the part, right? So that should be funny. I really am interested in the Dell Pro Max 16 Premium, more portable than this one, but still has 12 gigabytes of RTX 3000. So yeah, I promise you, once I get it from Dell, we'll do a big, you know, brouhaha as we normally do for these things. All right, so yeah, I think I screwed up the single core. We got 119. My guess is 130. 130s on this. So let me take my screenshot. But I was doing stuff in the background, so throw this result thrown out. But don't throw out that multi-core. That is correct. All right, so here is the RAID 0. Let's run it. Let's get this score going. These are 2 1 terabyte 5G running as RAID 0, from what I understand. These are non-ECC drives, or is that for the RAM? I'm sorry, that's the RAM, the ECC. But what am I talking about? This is a Gen 5 SSD, and look at that, 15,624. Wow, wow. I should do ASMR. Okay, amazing speed so far. It is. Love how you review the business laptops. Yeah, not many do it, so it's kind of my thing, right? I don't know why more people don't do the business laptops. I think they're just, don't sleep on them. And it's an underserved market as far as I'm concerned, as far as reviews like I do. I don't think there's enough. And I'm probably the one that really does it the most. So I appreciate that, my friend, being subscribed for a couple of years. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're making our big push for 300,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're at 262. Can you believe this? I can't believe it. So we're on pace for 300,000 by the end of the year. So if you want to be part of this, help grow the channel, help support the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, you can also join as members. I plan on doing, I know I've been saying this, exclusive member stuff. You'll get to look at my reviews very soon. I'm going to do that for this fall, to sort of like a premiere kind of thing for the members. And then just hit that like button. It helps spread it out over YouTube. I mean, you can't ask for more. All right. So we have about, let's see, between the two platforms, about 85 of you. So that's pretty good. And again, we'll keep this up for the replay, so people will get a chance to see this in the replay. So 15,000. I mean, look at these reads. Although the writes, maybe they could be higher. I don't know. With the RAID, take a look at it. So 9,000 we're looking at. I mean, these are pretty, I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter, because you're not going to notice any slowdowns or hiccups at these speeds. That's for sure. So if you need to transfer stuff, I mean, you're looking at blazingly fast. Having the fifth gen type of storage certainly makes a difference here. I'm the king, Master Fung. I'm the king, the business laptop king. Okay, I'll take it. I appreciate that. All right. So if you want a good business laptop, you come to me. So I'm talking to everybody. But for some reason, Microsoft doesn't like me. I don't know why. I don't care. They're never going to send me anything at this point. Look, if I have over 250,000 subscribers and they still don't send me their Surface laptop for business, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. I'm probably the #1 Surface laptop person there is. I have had millions of views over the years on their products: the Surface Pro, Surface Laptop, Surface Book, which one of the first things I ever reviewed on the channel. So, I think it's time they bring back the Surface Book. I may do a video on that. I have one here that I want to maybe do a look back, a retrospective look at the Surface Book, one of my favorites of all time. So look at these speeds here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is RAID 0, and yeah, it's pretty fast, right? I mean, look at that. Look at the reads, and the writes even are so incredible here. So that is good. So let me take a screenshot of that. Now, let me go to Epidemic Sound. Let me put it back on me. Let me go to Epidemic Sound. We're going to take a listen to the audio, and we're also going to test out the camera. So maybe what we'll do, let me get this set up, and then we'll do the audio and do the camera test. So this has an 8 megapixel camera. Should be very good. Should be really good. Let's go to like tracks here. Let me unhook it here. Let me put it on full volume. There it is. And let me go to my saved. Let's do You're the Only One, or Never Meant to Be. I like that one from Gloria Tells. All right, let me put it top down. Let me get this. So we know what we're talking about in terms of sound. And Never Meant to Be, Gloria Tells. Let's hear it.
Still mine. Now we're never bearing
Okay. Here's one thing I will say about this. It's good. I mean, I feel like it should have more speakers, right? So what does it have? Let me bring up the specs here. So I feel like it should have more audio. Like it's good, but for this, I want more. Let's see. Let it move over to the next one. We'll look at the audio here. So the audio, we're looking at stereo speakers with what is that? Cirrus Logic audio controller, 2 watts times 2. So there are 4 total watts. This should be 8 watts, I think. Sound is okay. Yeah, I agree, William. They should have more speakers on this. Am I wrong? I don't mean to, I'm just calling it like I see it. I feel like there should be at least 2 more speakers on this. So, yeah, would it be great? And again, a professional is going to use professional monitors. They're going to use to edit and stuff. But, this is one of your premium. Well, it's not a premium. It's their plus part of the Dell Max, Pro Max. So, yeah, I want to see a little bit more in terms of the sound. Not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. I just want more. And I agree with William on that. So that is that. Will you open up the see inside? Yeah, we can do that. Let's, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the camera now, and then we're going to open it up. So let's go to the camera here. So this is an 8 megapixel camera. So I'm expecting good things out of the camera. There is a physical shutter switch, by the way. So for those that need more privacy. All right, so let's see. So I'm going to put it on 1440p video. And here's what we're looking at. Oh, sorry. Let me plug it back in. My mistake. Plug that in. And this is what it looks like. So let me make sure this is clean. Sometimes you get some smudges on there. So this is what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. You got all the studio effects here. We'll test the microphones, all that. These are the background blur, standard blur, portrait blur, eye contact, auto framing. All right, so you have all that. Should have, I think, 108 teraflops, I think, of tops on this. In fact, this has a lot of AI capability. In fact, we should probably run the Geekbench AI. So it's got a lot of capability there. But this is the camera. Let me know what you think. And we'll do the ZBook Fury comparison as well. But let's open it up. All right, let me go back over here. Let's shut it down. Let's open this bad boy up. So really, really impressive so far. Okay, really impressive. The one thing it's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. Is the sound. I want more out of the sound, especially at this size and so forth. But that's just me. Okay, so let's see how this is going. This shouldn't be too complicated. We have Phillips head screws here. Let's see how this is going to open up. Now, there might be a version where they make a little latch for you to open it up. I don't know if this is obviously, I don't think this is the one, but there's one for security reasons. I think they have that, if I'm not mistaken, and they should be captive maybe. So we'll see. So we got 2 so far. This is a third right here. And then there's 4. Let's see, this is a 4th. Okay, 5. And then this is 6. Okay, and then 7. These are captive screws, so you won't lose them. I like that. Okay, let's see if this comes off. Hopefully there's no lock or anything that I missed or something. Hope I'm doing this right. Looks like I am. I may have to loosen this one a little bit more. All done live, folks. Okay, there we go. And there we have it. So, boom. Success. 3 fans, as I told you. There it is. Let's take a look. There it is. What a nice layout, Dell. Beautifully clean layout. Love it. Work of art. So your cam memory is somewhere here. So it might be here. This is your one SSD. This is two SSDs right here. This is for your RAID 0 Gen 5. Upgradable Wi-Fi card. Like to see that. Wi-Fi 7. Nice. And cam memory should be underneath here. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's here under the sink here. And then I don't know what this is, where the GPU might be, or I don't know. So there's something underneath there probably, or maybe that, something like that. I don't know. But this is the internals. Let's take a look at it right there. Let me move this out of the way. Hold on. Let me close this. Give it a nice close-up. You deserve it. There it is. See the mess there. All right, that's probably as good as I'm going to get it. There is the inside look at it. So the battery life, I don't know how it's going to be. Relatively small. It's 96 watt hours. How did they fit 96 watt hour battery into the size? So that's pretty impressive, actually. They actually have more room there. But again, you can't go above 100, right? The 99, I think, is the legal limit before it's not allowable on an airplane. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Pretty nice engineering here by Dell. They did a great job here. So 3 fans here. 1, 2, 3. All right, let me close it back up. Let me put it on me here. So that is the internals. So let's take a quick look. Once I get this cover back on, I want to show you the ZBook Fury, and I'll do my own separate video on that. So give it some love as well, because it's been really good. Another great offering from HP in their ZBook line. So this should be a good head-to-head, and I can't wait to get what Lenovo has to offer. So we'll see. So let me just screw this back in, and then we'll get that next to. We'll see the weights, differences in weight, and so forth. So we'll see. And again, love having these captive screws. You know how many of them I've lost over the years when they're not. So I've had my share, that's for sure. How do you like the live stream today? I think it's a lot of fun here today. Did we get to 100 likes? I don't think so. Okay, so a lot of work on these live streams, so hope you appreciate them. I have fun, though. I enjoy doing it. How thick is the battery? It's pretty thick, William. So they were able to, I guess, stack the cells. I don't know the battery technology in this. And again, I'm not anticipating huge battery here in terms of battery life. These workstations are not really designed. They're more desktop replacements than anything. So if you get, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, you'll be lucky, I think. But again, I could be wrong. But based on experience with these type of form factor laptops, these type of things, I don't think they're meant for longevity. It's not Lunar Lake, put it that way. These are desktop replacement workstations. So that is that. All right, that is, hope I didn't destroy anything when in the process, but that is that. Put this one back. All right, let's bring out the ZBook Fury and let's just see the difference in the two. And that looks like a good sign. It is booting up. So I don't know, we can hopefully fit these in here. So let me switch angles there. Whoa. So it is definitely bigger. So it's taller. All right. So this back here, bring this here. All right. So this is what we have here. So on the right, and let me log in, is the ZBook Fury G1i, 18-inch. and this is the Dell Pro Max 18 Plus. It's just a different form factor. Well, so this is a little bit difference here. There's a little bit longer here. Height-wise, the Dell is a little bit taller, not much. And here you can see the difference in the two as far as... So one thing you can probably see it here, the HP has a taller display, although they're the same. I think they're the same dimensions. They're 18 inches. So what's interesting is that this one comes up a little bit taller. So it has a thicker bezel, and I think that's the reason, is because it has this thicker bezel, so it's placed higher than this one. So pretty interesting. If I had to choose between the two, well, Motion, that's a good question. You're going to have to stay tuned for the Battle of the Behemoths, because I still have to do my testing on this. I have more testing to do on this. But this is, they have the same display. Both have same, let me take a look at this one. Display settings on this one. This has physical mouse keys here, you can see, but you could also do tap to click. So 2560 by 1600. This is 18 inches. And these are both the same in terms of the display, in terms of the resolution. Advanced here is, okay, so the only difference here is this is 165 hertz, the HP, and this one is 120 hertz. So that is one difference between the two. Will you notice a huge difference? Not much. I don't think you really would, although 165 hertz is going to be a little bit smoother, more fluid, I guess, but it has been a great display. They did a good job on this as well. They have the same processor, same GPU, so we're going to be able to get an apples-to-apples comparison. So that should be good. We'll be able to get that. It has 65 likes. I kind of wish it was more likes. The smaller bezels are on the Dell. There's no doubt about it. You can see that there. The bezels here are smaller. The side bezels are very similar, although a little bit on the Dell, but you see this chin here, right here, this chin is thicker. So that's why this is coming up taller. But other than that, they're very, very similar in a lot of ways. I/O on the Fury is on the left side here. Maybe we can take a look at that real quick here. So let me see if I can line these up so you can see them. Let me do it like this. Okay, so here, this might be the best way to do it. Yeah, this will work. So let's start left side, right? On the Fury, you're looking at headphone. Was that the headphone jack or the power port? This is the power port. So this uses a barrel pin connection. 2 Thunderbolt 5, I think, on this one, HDMI, and a full-size SD card reader. Full-size SD card reader, Thunderbolt 5, HDMI, and the LAN port right there. Okay, so that's the Dell on the top and the HP on the bottom. Switch them over to the right side here. This works out. And the smart card reader here is on the HP. You get your headphone jack, microphone headphone jack. You get your USB Thunderbolt. I think this one's 4.0, but again, Thunderbolt 4. USB-A LAN port there, and your Kensington lock. Here you get your headphone Thunderbolt 4 to USB-A Kensington lock. So they have pretty much the same ports, right? On the bottom here, and you can do one difference though, and I kind of like what HP's doing here, is the toolless entry. So you'll see here, there's a little latch here. This makes it, I believe it's toolless entry. So if I go like that, so that is unlock maybe? Yeah. So, and I think you have to do it on both. Oh, hold on. I got to do it on both sides, I think. How do I do this? So this goes here. Where's that lock? Let's see. Yeah, so that's how you take this off. So that's toolless entry, and I kind of like that. So how HP did it, and we saw already Dell. I don't feel like taking that off again, but we can replay that if we have to. The difference is these are the 3 fans in a different placement here. Now, these are DIMM slots here. I think these are traditional DIMM slots. I don't think this has CAM memory, but you have your SSD there. You have your 5G modem there. You have some pretty nice speakers. I'll test that out. But take a look at the battery, the way this is broken up. I think this is a 99 watt hour battery, if I'm not mistaken. So a little smidge more than the Dell, maybe. But also a very interesting layout. It's a big, interesting layout. So those are some of the differences. And again, I love the toolless entry, but I will say that I've been very impressed with this one. And I've been impressed with this one. So it's hard to say which is going to come out on top. So you're going to have to stay tuned for the battle of the behemoths. If I can get this back in here. I think I have to do it like this. So oh, there we go. So this has to go in like that. There we go. Oops. Goes in like that. I think this one has to go like this. Anyway, I'll play with this later to get this back on. I'm doing something wrong here. So I don't want to take up all your time. Should just snap back in. Okay. There we go. I did it. I did it. Okay. Whew. That was a lot of work. What is the price difference? Not much. They're both, if you have to ask, forget it. I'm kidding. No, they're both expensive. I think they're very similar. I'll talk. I got to leave something for the video. This is going to come in the way these are configured. Now, this one has 64 gigabytes as configured. Keep in mind, this has 128 of CAM memory, so there may be some differences there. But I would imagine they're similarly priced. There may be some differences. Again, we'll check that out between the two of them. A lot of work here today, but I got to say, the Dell is very impressive here. This Dell Pro Max 18 Plus is a good one here, folks. So I will have a full review. Rest assured, a full review coming up. Why didn't anybody tell me this was in the way? Hold on. There we go. Get that out of the way. There we go. All right. So I will have the full review coming up. So make sure you are subscribed. I think that's it for today. What do you think? How was it? First time back in a while. So hopefully we'll do this on a more consistent basis. But I want to thank all the moderators here, Raphael, William, and everybody else. Comments and questions were great today. And I want to thank you for just everything you guys do for me. Really, I can't thank you enough on that. You can still get the SODIMM slots up to 64 in the Dell, so that is a good point. Let me bring that up before we say goodbye. So you don't have to go with the CAM memory. That is just an option for the Dell. You can go with regular SODIMM slots just like you can on this HP. So thank you for bringing that up. It was fun, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you are a casual viewer, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 300,000 by the end of the year. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.